Hey guys, and welcome back to this podcast. Um, it's been 2 days. Today is Saturday, September 19, 2020. And I have a couple of things to rant about. Um, Mostly school-related stuff. Ooh, my strawberries are dying. Tomatoes are dying. So I'm just checking with my plants right now before I go ahead and start to water them. Um, Junior year's been alright so far. Nothing. It's how I kind of got used to how hard it would be, or I'm, they call this, getting settled is the right word. With online learning or physical learning or whatever they say it is, whatever they categorize it. And I did say that in my first podcast that I felt it was okay. It was alright. It wasn't too hard. It wasn't. It allowed me to better manage my time. So there's that. To those who are new or who don't know the premise of this podcast, it'll basically be just me watering my plants, my dying plants, because I haven't been taking care of them, while I talk, or more specifically, rant. Rant about things that I feel like ranting about. So yeah, let's get started with that. You know, I think this isn't. I think this is common with teenagers, where they just feel that they aren't good enough, that whatever they're doing isn't satisfying to them. Now that's basically what I'll be talking about my first topic today. Meeting expectations, whether they be your own expectations or your parents' expectations or your teacher's expectations. You have to decide at one point that yes, meeting expectations is good, but in the same time, it's unhealthy to pursue other people's expectations, your parents' expectations of what you want to be like, what your personality should be. Because after all, they don't decide what your life, they don't decide how you live. They have a big influence in how you should live. But in the end, they don't get to decide, this is your life, this is your time. And you'll definitely get to this point where you just feel like you can't satisfy everyone. That no matter how hard you try or work, sleep late at night to get those good grades, that at one point, that drive you have of meeting people's expectations will suddenly be gone. and that one day that there would be an empty feeling in your heart because you followed other people's expectations, not the expectations of yourself. And I'm not saying that expectations are bad. Expectations in a normal way, like you're expected to learn this by this time, like in math. You're expected to learn addition in first grade. Expected to learn. Expected to learn subtraction, order of operations, limits, basic algebra stuff at a certain point in your life. But one day I think that we have to realize that if you don't meet other people's expectations, that doesn't mean you're a failure. Because whatever, how do I word this? Whatever um, physical or mental characteristics that you were given ultimately dictates your pace and how you learn, how fast you learn. I mean, you hear some people getting like a physics degree at 17. Now, just because someone has a faster learning rate than you are doesn't mean you're a failure. I mean, a physics degree earned in a physics degree earned at the age of 17 and a physics degree earned at the age of 25 is still a physics degree. To further elaborate on that point, a Ferrari, buying a Ferrari at the age of 17 and buying a Ferrari at the age of 40, it's still a Ferrari. It doesn't downplay your achievement. Anyways, I kind of wanted to touch base on that because, right now I'm a junior and I'm not going to say that things are going incredibly tough for me right now because quite simply that's over dramatic and having two B's isn't that bad. But we just have to take the time to realize ourselves, have that self-care for ourselves that in the end we're trying our best. So trying our best with whatever situation you have, whatever strengths and weaknesses that we were born with. In the end, um, you live your own life. That ooh, there's a spider with me right now. It's a very cute one. It's white. Yeah, I just kind of wanted to touch base on that and just to reassure myself that everything will be alright. Because I really think that with the courses I'm taking 4 AP classes with varying difficulties. Um, I'm taking APUS, AP Lang, AP Physics, and AP Calc. Now, I thought that at first, APUS, I thought APUS was going to be a breeze, simply because I already took AP Euro last year, and I thought that while the content was of varying topics, that I would at least get some of um, continuity from certain topics, and I do, but just because I do doesn't mean that it's going to be easy. Just because, you're still going to work with an PBQ, with an LEQ, with an SAQ, that means that I already have it cut out for me. I already have the work or the grade cut out for me, and that's simply not true. Because, quite frankly, this teacher is miles better at explaining the topic and engaging the class in learning than the AP Euro teacher. So while I'm kind of irritated or annoyed that I have a B right now for a push, it's kind of gratifying in a way that the teacher is giving his best to supply me with the right information, with the correct knowledge, and to do so in a fun and meaningful way. And that ultimately um, matters more than the result. The process matters more than the result. Uh, Things are definitely looking up for me in April. Just because I have a B now doesn't mean that I won't try harder to get an A. And I definitely will. Uh, so is um, same with AP Calc or AP Calculus, AP. Now let's go on to a more fun topic. NBA basketball. As I'm watering my plants right now, as I'm taking care of my dying plants, um, the Boston Celtics and the Miami Heat are playing against each other. Now, just to kind of relate it with the first part of this podcast with expectations, no one, absolutely no one thought that Miami were contenders in the playoffs in the beginning of the season. Absolutely no one. Um, well, first off, we didn't know the rookies, Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo, and other key notable players who would show up. So definitely props to them. And definitely props to the Miami Heat for beating the Milwaukee Bucks. The team with the highest record in this season's NBA was beaten by the Miami Heat, and that isn't, um, they might not have had Giannis for the last 3 games, but that's still an incredible feat that they managed to gentleman sweep the Milwaukee Bucks. And as of right now, as I'm watering my plants, as I'm recording this podcast, the Miami Heat are up 2-0 against the Boston Celtics. And the Boston Celtics is in the face of collapsing. Sorry, there's a helicopter right now. Looks to be some type of commercial helicopter. But as I was saying, um, there were reports going on that there was fighting between the Celtics players in the locker room after Game 2. Now, um, I personally don't know what happened in the game. I usually uh, either I watch the highlights or I just look at the box record. Is that what they call it? The final score, and base my assumptions off that, along with trending topics. But if the Boston Celtics do not win this game, I sincerely believe that they will be swept by the Miami Heat. But yeah, there isn't really. If the Boston Celtics, just to elaborate on my previous point or claim, that if the Boston Celtics don't turn it around, on today's game. I mean, last time I checked, they were leading by 22-17, so they had a 5-point lead over the Boston Celtics, but that was 30 minutes ago. Yeah, if the Boston Celtics don't turn it around and win this game, then the Boston Celtics, calling it now, will get swept by the Miami Heat because they need to make some changes. But yeah, that's all for today. It's getting incredibly late, and I'm not getting that golden sunset vibe right now, uh, even though it's 6:34. Sorry, no, even though it's 6:56. But yeah, that's it.